Is this the way? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, got a film review a little bit late, but better late than never. We're taking a look at Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu from 2026. And this film takes place probably during the TV series. I'm not fully sure where, but it shows the Mandalorian and Grogu as they are hired by the New Republic to try to find some head officials of the Empire still trying to keep the Empire alive. And they're basically contracted out to take out or bring in any head people from the Empire and figure out what's going on so they can stop it from spreading, essentially. And this particular film follows a specific story where they are contracted by the Hutts, Jabba the Hutt fame, to help find one of their kin, and the story goes off from there. That's essentially the plot of this particular film. So, for me, my background with Star Wars is I grew up a relative Star Wars fan. I wouldn't say I was a big Star Wars fan. They weren't a big part of my life, but I always was attracted to them. I enjoyed the original 3 films. And then I was, of age to see the prequel trilogy and things like that. And those were fine and nothing great. But I don't think an absolute disaster like maybe they get a rap for today. And then obviously the new trilogy and all the other films. I haven't really watched much of the TV shows, and specifically The Mandalorian. I've only seen season 1, and I think the first 1 or 2 episodes of season 2, which I heard season 3 kind of was a dumpster fire, so I missed out on that. But ultimately, that's kind of where I'm at with this franchise in general. Really, hold up those original 3 films to a very high regard, and from there we, go from there. So for this particular film, I will say it was fine. The movie did a good enough job of kind of presenting you this story of the Mandalorian and Grogu as they're doing things. But therein lies the problem, for me at least. It was just fine, and a Star Wars theatrical released film needs to be a big thing. It needs to be a big event. It feels like the vast majority of the live action theatrical releases are these big world building and world defining events to where the entire empire, for lack of a better word, is at stake. And there's big stakes for the film and things like that. And, you have this big sweeping kind of story going on, kind of a soap opera-ish. And it just feels bigger, feels more palpable. And this particular film does not feel that way. I don't feel like the stakes in the story are really that big, and they're not treated that way in the story itself. As many reviewers put it, and I will agree with them, this just feels like a side adventure from the TV show. It feels like maybe a couple episodes of the TV show put together and put on film for the theatrical release, which is fine enough, I guess, but it doesn't feel like a big Star Wars film that I was really engaged with. And another big thing, and I know a lot of people say, Star Wars is all about lightsabers and lightsaber battles, and you can still have a good Star Wars film without that, but that's severely missing for me. I really enjoy that aspect of it. But for this particular movie, that's where I feel like it's kind of a letdown. The story's just not big enough, and it doesn't feel impactful enough. As we go on with the particular movie and the story they give to you, it does feel like a couple of TV shows put together, because the pacing does feel a bit off. There are a few moments of excitement, but there's a lot of lulls and a lot of aspects of the story that feels like it's more of the 5-act structure of a TV show rather than this big 3-act structure of a film. And it just doesn't feel like you're really, and I say this a lot on the channel, like a big build up to a big conclusion, because there's a bunch of these kind of, build, resolve, then start over, build, resolve, like it's a couple TV shows put together. So it doesn't logically flow. They do have a storyline, and it does build up, but I don't feel like, I feel the momentum starts and stops too much. It doesn't gradually build, because it then builds up and then it falls off, and then it builds up and then falls off. And it just kind of this start and stop jerky aspect of it that was really kind of off putting. As for everything else in it, big budget Star Wars film, good cinematography, well acted. A few of the actors in here just kind of felt like they were going through the motions. They weren't given a lot to do and kind of glorified cameo roles, but yeah, it didn't. It felt like they were actors playing a part rather than they were a part of this universe, if that makes sense. They didn't feel natural within the universe. It's like, oh, there's a big famous person doing a thing for a little bit, and yeah, they're a famous person doing a thing. They're not a character that I'm supposed to like believe in this particular role. Um, Outside of that, um, yeah, Grogu is fine enough. Going to try to sell merchandise. It's a cute creature in the universe, but we know that's a merchandise monster there. Um, but yeah, ultimately, just not enough meat on the bones to where I feel like there was enough stakes and enough meat there for this to warrant a theatrical release. And that just feels wrong, especially for a big promoted summer Star Wars film. And I think you're seeing that with the box office. It has amongst the lowest returns for an opening for a Star Wars film in the box office. And I don't know if they're going to, this could very well end up being the lowest return for a Star Wars film theatrically, potentially. I guess I haven't looked too deeply in there, and I'm kind of discounting maybe some of the animated stuff and things like that. But for live action, definitely, it's kind of a letdown. So unfortunately, yeah, not really bought into this one in particular. So for this film, I'm going to end up giving it 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was still fine enough. I think some Star Wars fans will find that they enjoyed it enough, and if they're a fan of the TV show, they'll probably be a fan of this, and it'll give them their fix. But I don't think there was enough there to really rally the the non super diehard fans, I should say, and bring in new fans, unless they were fans of the TV show. I don't think this is going to move the needle that much, and maybe we'll get a continuation of Rey's story or some Skywalker thing, or something big world building stuff in future releases. Who knows? You never know where Disney's going to take the Star Wars franchise, so we'll see what the theatrical releases end up being in the future. But this one was kind of a letdown for me. All right. Well, thank you again. Love to see some thoughts in the comments. Let me know. Did you check out this film? Are you a fan of the TV show? Did this scratch your itch for a theatrical release Star Wars film, or was it a letdown? Let me know in the comments. Would really appreciate it. If you can do a like on the video, share it with family, friends, whoever. Give it to random strangers. Just find some random stranger on Facebook and just send it to them. See what happens. That could be kind of fun. Really appreciate it. All right. Well, as usual, if I don't see you again, bye forever.